Welcome once again, fight fans, to Atlanta, Georgia for PFL regular season action. That man, Olivier Aubin-Mercier, steps back into the smart cage looking to continue a push to another championship. And Hurricane Shane Burgos has his back against the wall. Sadibou Sy wants back-to-back welterweight championships. Can he make it 5 trips to the playoffs in 5 seasons? There's the Jordanian Lion, Jarrah Al-Salawi, already here inside the building at Overtime Elite Arena. He'll take on a man making his PFL debut, Solomon Renfro. One opportunity for him to earn points and a spot in the playoffs. Welcome to the PFL pre-fight show here on ESPN+. Welterweights and lightweights take center stage tonight. One last opportunity to earn points. Coming up later, simulcast on ESPN+ and ESPN Deportes, but also on ESPN starting at 9 Eastern, our main card, and you can see the live odds here. Former welterweight champion Magomed Karamov is a prohibitive favorite over David Zawada. Still undefeated Magomed Umalatov is -900 favorite over the also undefeated Naive Lopez. And how about a striker versus grappler matchup? Clay Collard, Stevie Ray opening the action. The first fights will happen right here exclusively on ESPN+. We'll begin the night with some featherweight showcase bouts and then into the regular season action. Welterweights first, and look at that, Solomon Renfro making his debut is actually a favorite. The odds have been swinging back and forth between Alexander Martinez and Bruno Miranda. Natan Schultz and Haush Manpio, a lot of intrigue in that one. And a feature between Carlos Leal and Delano Taylor, 2 Challenger Series veterans. Sean O'Connell, Randy Couture, Kenny Florian, happy to be here in Atlanta one last time as we finish our PFL regular season. And Randy, even if you fight your way through the regular season, you earn a spot in the playoffs, the job is only half done.
That is the truth. There's a little saying in combative sports, it's called embracing the grind. And here at the Professional Fighters League, we have taken that to a whole new place. We put MMA into a true sports format. That means if you want to be the champion in Professional Fighters League, you are signing up to fight 4 times in 8 months. That is no small task. Now, many of our fighters have embraced this grind. Some of them done their job and got those bonus points. Aspen Ladd winning her fight in her second regular season bout in the second round to score 5 bonus points. Still not enough. Left her in the 5th spot. Didn't make the playoffs. Chris Wade, first round finish, 6 points. Still not enough. Left in the 5th place. You just never know what's going to happen. You better be ready to embrace the grind.
Well, it's a great point Randy brings up, because even if you win, you are not guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, as we narrow it down from a full roster to 24 in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. And both of these divisions, welterweight and lightweight, are absolutely stacked. If we take a look at the lightweight division, there's a huge logjam, which means it's wide open. You see a bunch of guys there with 3 points, including last year's champ, Olivier Aubin-Mercier, with 3 points. So really a lot can happen tonight. And you go to the welterweight standings, still very close, but these guys have gotten a lot of finishes. Even Sadibou Sy, who won last year's championship, is in 4th place with 5 points. So just crazy. A lot can happen tonight, guys.
All right, let's talk about the main event. All-Canadian affair. Olivier Aubin-Mercier and Anthony Romero. Randy, the Canadian gangster, is looking to become one of very few fighters who have won back-to-back PFL championships. Can he do it?
Well, here's a protege of George St. Pierre, one of the best to ever do this sport. He's one of the most cerebral fighters. He's this unique ability to come up with a game plan to put himself in the best position to win. Here he is against last year's championship against Stevie Ray. Use those hands, set up those traps, and land that big hook. Here he is, the first regular season bout here against highly touted signing Shane Burgos. He did a great job attaching himself to Shane Burgos and riding him like a barnacle, not willing to give him the space to get into that range of exchanges. Olivier Aubin-Mercier looking to repeat. Can he get it done?
The Canadian gangster is one of the smartest fighters in the game. But tonight he takes on a genius in Anthony Romero.
Yeah, that's right. And this is a guy with a lot of different skills. Very similar to OAM. He can get it done and win in a variety of ways. Doesn't have the same experience, but he's very young and he's very fresh. He didn't go through last season in that grind like Olivier Aubin-Mercier did. He did come into this season through the Challenger Series had a fantastic fight in that one, was all over his opponent, and I think he's going to try to utilize those skills against Olivier tonight.
All right, tonight marks the halfway point of the PFL season. We're only half of the PFL crew at OTE tonight. We got a full house. Dan Hardy, give us some more on this main event.
Thank you very much, guys. Great to be here again. Now, of course, Olivier Aubin-Mercier is one of the prolific French-Canadian fighters, but there have been so many. Patrick Cote, Marc Hominick, Georges St-Pierre, as Randy Couture mentioned earlier. Of course, Georges St-Pierre is the best, the one that we hold in such high regard. But Olivier Aubin-Mercier, he's the face of Canadian mixed martial arts right now. And the time that he's spent training with Georges St-Pierre, the time he's spent at TriStar, you've got two very, very smart, intelligent, and controlled individuals training together. Those lessons are going to transfer over to Aubin-Mercier. But he's got someone in front of him that wants to take that poster boy spot. Romero, he wants to be the poster boy of Canadian mixed martial arts, and Brett Okamoto is going to tell you more about it. Brett, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. That is absolutely the case. Anthony Romero, wild set of circumstances here coming into this main event. I mean, this guy was on the Challenger Series, and now here he is. He has his first opportunity to make his debut in the regular season format, and it comes in the main event against the likes of Olivier Aubin-Mercier, who he says, he agrees with you, Dan. This is the face of Canadian MMA at the moment, OAM is, and he's looking to take that mantle. I mean, this is a guy, 5 years ago, he was watching Olivier Aubin-Mercier from the stands as a fan at UFC 231, and now here he is squaring off with him, fighting him here tonight in the main event. But he sees that as just such an ultimate test. Like, this is the guy that is holding that torch for Canadian MMA. I want to be that guy. What's a better way to do it than to beat that guy who is in that position right now? So we will see how he performs in this unique scenario. And for more on the evening, here is our cage announcer, Andy Shepard.
Yeah, thank you, Brett. For me as the cage announcer, when I get to announce a former PFL world champion into the smart cage, it feels special. It feels big knowing that there's someone there who's done this. They've reached the top of the toughest test in all of sports. But just because they've done it once doesn't mean they're going to do it again. Doesn't even mean they're guaranteed a place in the playoffs. A prime example happened 2 weeks ago right here in Atlanta. Last year's featherweight champion Brendan Loughnane fell in a huge upset to Jesus Pinedo. It was the first time Loughnane had ever been finished, and now his season is over. Also, Ante Dillier, last year's heavyweight champion, certainly looked like a champion against Maurice Green, but didn't amass enough points to progress to the playoffs. His season is over. But someone's season who isn't over is last year's champion, Larissa Pacheco. Once again, a dominant victory, and she is now the #1 seed heading into the playoffs. Tonight, we have 5 former PFL world champions in action. Which of those will earn a place in the playoffs? We're going to find out across the next few hours. Sean, back to you.
All right, so will tonight represent upsets and a changing of the guard and the start of some new and exciting journeys in mixed martial arts, or will we see the elite remain elite here in the PFL? We'll find out, including in the main event. Let's take a closer look at that matchup.
I've trained with the champion before, so I'm comfortable everywhere he wants to take the fight. And I think that's going to throw him off because he's used to getting his way against one-dimensional fighters.
Wow, beautiful right uppercut. Big body kick there from OAM.
I have to be there 100% mentally and physically because this could be a really dangerous fight.
Oh, big shot.
A lift and a drop from Romero.
Had a great showing at the Challenger Series. It's what people want to see, clean knockouts, finishes, and I will come on top for this main event.
I think I have a really, really good chance of repeating what I did last year.
Knocks out Stevie Ray.
And once I beat him, then I'll be the champion, I'll be the big dog.
I show everybody that I'm the boss.
Cannot wait, but that is the last fight of the night, okay? We're gonna have to wait a little while to get there. How are we betting a matchup like this one where you've got an established talent like the Canadian Gangster versus a PFL newcomer? We have betting experts to guide us through this experience. They happen to be the very best in the business. Jonathan Coachman, Ian Parker, teach me again.
Sean, first of all, good evening to everybody. Good to see everybody here for PFL 6. Now, when you hear Randy Couture said, embrace the grind, grind is kind of the word, Ian Parker, that is used to describe OAM and his style. Now, as we look at the last 5 results for OAM, something is very evident. He goes to decision a lot. He does have that second round KO over Stevie Ray, but most of the time, it's a decision. But tonight, Ian Parker, we got 5 cats with 3 points, so we need finishes. Do you see a finish in our main event?
You know, I think it's going to be tough here, Coach. One, OAM sits in a pretty interesting position because he's going to know what he really needs to do in order to get in by the time it gets to his fight. And he's fighting someone, Anthony Romero, that we saw in the Challenger Series. The nickname Genius describes him perfectly. He's very smart with his distance, his wrestling, his cardio, his game planning. So I think this fight's going to be a little bit more competitive than what the odds say. But I do, and I know you don't like this. I know you're a big fan of unders and quick finishes. But for me, this is going to be OAM by decision at -150.
It's okay. I'm going to give you that because we have a lot more to get to. You can make me happy later in the show, but John, right now, we could be in for a bananas evening because this leaderboard that we're looking at right now, it can be flipped on its head depending on how many finishes we have. More coming up in a couple of minutes. John, back to you.
All right, thanks, Ian. Thanks, Coach. Yeah, it's a tight race in the lightweight division, and, of course, that main event takes place in the lightweight division. Let's take a look at the welterweight standings to refresh the way things are sitting right now at 170 pounds. There's a log jam at the top right now, but it's a different kind of log jam. These are all finishes. Magomed Karamov, Magomed Umalatov, Carlos Leal all had first-round finishes in Vegas. Magomilians with the fastest of those finishes, so he's top of the table for now. Sada Boucy, last year's champion, had a second-round finish, very impressive performance in its own right. That's good enough for 5 points, and Naib Lopez grinded out a decision victory. So Sada Boucy, last year's welterweight champion, currently in 4th place. He's part of our co-main event tonight as he takes on Shane Mitchell. And we have seen Sada Boucy continually progress and get better and better. He's 36 years of age now. Is he still on his way up?
Well, I think that's one of the things he's most proud of, that improvement season after season. And man, does he have a ton of experience here in the PFL. You know, there was a time where he was known as a sniper from the outside, but if you got on the inside, you took him down, you can beat him there. Well, his wrestling is so much better, and because of that, he is so much more confident with his striking. Now, he's 6'3", has very long reach. You still have to get on the inside of that. No easy task. He has excellent footwork, and he's a very smart fighter.
All right, so Sada Boucy solved the problem, and now you can't just take him down to beat him. Does that mean you have to outstrike Sada Boucy to beat him? That's a tough test. But Shane Mitchell says, we're both strikers. I'm the one who needs the points. I'm going to bring the fight to Sada Bou. How does that work out for the Australian?
Shane Mitchell realizes that he needs to step into that boxing range and take away some of those long-range weapons of Sada Boucy. Feels like he's the guy to do that. He was a little out of sorts against Lopez, the grappler. Said he got in some positions that he wasn't very comfortable with. And in this striking matchup against Sada Boucy, he feels very comfortable and confident. Feels like there's no pressure on him. He's got great hands, obviously. Not afraid to step in there and kick. There he is, scrambling from the ground and surviving on that ground in the ground fighting with Lopez. This is going to be a very interesting fight. Who goes out and impresses and imposes their will?
All right, so that is the co-main event. Sada Boucy, Shane Mitchell. Another feature bout on our main card coming up later. One of the most highly touted signings in the PFL's history was Shane Burgos coming over. World ranked in the UFC on a win streak when he came over. And he finally made his PFL debut in Vegas. He took on OAM Randy, and it didn't go his way. He lost that fight by decision, which means one of the most exciting fighters on the planet, Shane Burgos, is in a win or go home situation, and maybe a finish or go home situation.
Yeah, Shane admits he overlooked the point system in the PFL, and he didn't really care about that going into his first fight. Now he has to care about that. He has 0 points. He has to have a finish in this fight. Here he is against OAM. He had some great moments in this fight. He was a little bit slow in the start. He realized he can't afford to start slow. He's got to come out firing right away and put the pressure on tonight, score some bonus points, and secure his spot in these playoffs to have a shot at that title, which everybody expects.
So I'm really curious how a guy like Shane Burgos is feeling with all the hype that followed him into the league, and now he's in a disadvantageous position. You can hear how Shane's feeling coming into this fight in his own words.
Coming off that last fight with OAM, I would love to get that back for a 5-rounder. Still fully 100% believe in myself and my abilities. So I didn't really put too much emphasis or too much thought on the point system. Looking back at my first fight, now I'm in the position where I have no points. My back's against the wall.
Hurricane Shane Burgos swinging away, trying to make something happen here.
I'm looking at this as high stakes, high pressure, but I thrive under those lights, and I'm excited to go out there and get the job done as quickly as possible.
Shane Burgos is no stranger to adversity in mixed martial arts. What he knows about this next fight against Nishikawa is that he's got to make better decisions and land more punches than he gets hit with.
Right hand landed there for Nishikawa.
Nishikawa trying to take the fight to the ground now. Oh, there's another kick. That inside knee of Collard is in big trouble.
I'm a better wrestler. I'm a better grappler. I'm a better puncher. I'm better everywhere. This is my time right now. And I'm not looking to have him make me be a stepping stone. But I'm looking to use him as a catapult to get me into the semifinals.
All right, so far we only know how Jonathan Coachman and Ian Parker are betting the main event. I need more guidance on the main card, so we send it back out to the betting experts. Coach Ian, what do you got?
Sean, I can't even wrap my head around the fact that any fighter would overlook the point system. It's what the PFL is truly all about. So Ian Parker, the welterweights, they already showed it. At the top, we got bonus points all over the board. So how about Magomed Karamov taking on Mr. Zawada tonight? How are you looking at this one?
Coach, minus 1,500, we can't bet that straight. We can't throw him in a parlay, get no value. So we're going to go to the props. And Magomed Karamov has really shown us that he is pressing that gas pedal. He's going forward. He is trying to make a statement. We're going to go round props. We're going to go under 1.5 rounds at plus 135. That's mind-blowing to me. Zawada was finished in the first round by Carlos Leal. Magomed Karamov can do it on the feet. He can do it on the ground. I expect him to get it done. And we're getting plus money. Let's go.
You're making my heart sing with that under 1.5. You know, it's my favorite bet, Ian Parker. Now, there's another Magomed on the card tonight, Umalatov. Are we going under in his fight as well?
Coach, if you like that last one, you're going to really love this one because same song, same dance, minus 900. Too big, too much. You know, it's MMA. Anything can happen. However, let's go back to the props. Let's go to our rounds at plus 100. Under 1.5 rounds. We're going to get 2 plus money, 2 under 1.5. Umalatov is a beast. Coach, he might be my pick to win the whole thing. He's fighting someone in Lopez who's tough. As Sean O'Connell tells me, he's tough, but mainly a wrestler. Got hit a lot in his last fight. Umalatov, I think, runs through him under 1.5 plus 100. That's the other play.
Yeah, please stop name dropping. We know you and Sean never talk. Now, it's time for our puncher's chance. Bold prediction. Oh, I thought you'd like that one. Bold prediction. Last week, it was north of plus 800. What do you got for us this week, Ian Parker?
Coach, I don't want to make my best friend Kenny Floridian jealous, all right? Look, in this fight, bold prediction, look, Clay Collard is someone who keeps getting right to that playoff spot and just misses, and he's fighting someone in Stevie Ray who is very tough. Both guys have been through a lot, have a lot to fight for here, but Clay Collard needs a finish. However, I think Stevie Ray is quite durable. If he puts Collard on his back, Collard's going to have to get back up. So we're going to go round 3 finish at plus 1,000. We hit it last week with Aspen Ladd, round 2 at plus 850, so I'm up in the ante. We're going for plus 1,000 this week.
Yeah, we did it with about, 8 seconds to spare, which was a whole lot of fun. Maybe a little less this week. Now, Sean O'Connell, that's 6 fights on the main card. We still have 6 more on the early card. We'll be back for that in a second. And I promise you, I will not allow Ian Parker to stumble over any more jokes. I promise. Back to you.
Coach, I talk to Ian all the time. Where do you think he gets his picks from? We do need to discuss that early card coming up later. In fact, right after this.
No one knows where it comes from. Why some have it and some don't. It's the fighting spirit. It consumes fear and weakness. It stands ready to fight whatever shape the battle takes. Because as long as there are battles, there will always be Marines.
We support all those willing to take the puncher's chance.
It's about challenging myself every day, taking a chance.
It's never standing still, never taking it for granted, and never following because you never know what lies ahead.
Living life my way. Enjoying the ride, despite the obstacles.
Achieving your goals takes grit and determination, with a bit of luck and the help of a few good friends. But to create a memorable life takes something more.
The puncher's chance.
Hurricane Shane Burgos. Ladies and gentlemen, one shot is all it takes.
I need to finish in the first round. It's not like I haven't been here before. It's not like I haven't done it before. So I don't see why I can't do it now.
Nice right hand from Mitchell.
He's trying to catch Lopez as he comes in.
I'm striving for greatness. I'm striving to create things where people say, oh my God, no, that's impossible.
There's those fast kicks from Sada Bousif.
He's going to do his usual evasive game. If I can get on the inside, I'm going to have the advantage there.
Another right hand. Mitchell starting to get that dialed in, Kenny.
It's very important to make it to the playoffs and to make a statement for the rest of the division.
That hurts Alawi to the body, and he's done!
I can see one of us going down, and I sure plan on it being me who wins the fight.
I need a victory, and that's what I'm going to get.
Love that look at the co-main event. And just a reminder, this is how the PFL season format works. 10 fighters in each weight class. We do have 6 different weight classes. It's lightweights and welterweights tonight. 2 regular season fights for each. This is the second of those. 3 points for win, bonus points for finishing any round. And then the top 4 fighters in each division will make the playoffs. Those are coming up in August. $1 million championship and a beautiful gold belt to everyone who can win it all. Here's our main card coming up later tonight. We'll simulcast it on ESPN Plus and ESPN Deportes. We're also on ESPN. All Canadian main events, Sada Bousif, Shane Mitchell. You just looked at that in the co-main, and a bunch of incredible fights as all of these individuals look for a spot in the playoffs. We'll start the action right here in just a few minutes on ESPN Plus. Showcase bouts in the featherweight division to open the action, and then right to a welterweight regular season bout. Then it's 2 lightweight matchups and a welterweight feature. All right, Sean O'Connell, Randy Couture, Kenny Florian. I'm going to put you on the spot. A fighter to watch on the early card.
Well, for me, it's Carlos Leal. I mean, how many times have we seen this guy start fights like he was shot out of a cannon? Loves to go out there and finish fights with his hands. Definitely has knockout power, but he's also a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He can get it done on the ground, whether with his positioning and ground and pound or his submission game. Loves to move forward. David Zawada found out all about that fast start. Has serious power in those hands.
All right, Randy Couture, same question for you. Who are you watching on the early card?
Well, I'm looking for our 2-time champ, Nathan Schultz. This guy's like a little Terminator. He just keeps plodding forward no matter what you throw at him. This guy implements his judo as well as anybody in this sport. There you see the Ochimata, the foot sweeps, great ground and pound, very, very sharp, just keeps coming forward. Now he's facing one of his best friends, which adds a whole nother layer to the onion in this fight tonight. But he is a tremendous competitor, 2-time champ in the PFL. Can he get it done a 3rd time?
He's, by the way, the only fighter in the running in 2023 to pursue a 3rd PFL championship. He wants to make history. How are we betting the early card? Let's send it back out to Coach and Ian for their advice. Fellas?
Well, Sean, thank you very much. There's a couple of fighters that we are looking on, and when you talk about Bruno Miranda, what are you doing here, Ian?
Coach, you know what? Bruno Miranda's a guy who's flying under the radar. He reminds me a lot of John Lineker. He's got good takedown defense, nasty hooks, good striking, great chin. He's fighting someone, Alexander Martinez, who we've seen before. Very hittable. At this number of even money, I'm going to go with the underdog here in Bruno Miranda.
All right, next fight, quickly, Nathan Schultz and Usman Theo. A couple of vets. What do we do?
You know, earlier I liked this a little bit better when Nathan Schultz was -185. This number keeps getting steamed. Coach, I'm at -210 right now with Nathan Schultz. I'm still willing to take him. I think that forward pressure, that volume is a lot. Someone Manfio relies too much on the counter striking. I don't like to go above -200. I'm making an exception. Give me Schultz.
All right, -200 is kind of where we cut it off. Now, we've got a little bit of time, and everybody's screaming. I just got a text. I need a Parker's parlay. parlay. Give me something, Ian.
Let's go. Let's start it off with Brian Zurcher from the Challenger Series. Excellent wrestler, good striking, very talented fighter. We're going to start him off at minus 345. Next up, we are going to go Clay Collard. Earlier in the bold prediction, now we just need him to win at minus 205. If you look at the betting big board, we're already at minus 109. Next, Magomed Umalatov, yes, minus 900, but that number is going to get us to plus odds. And last but not least, last year's champ, Sanabu C. Coach, I don't see how he loses here. He's the better striker, and I'll even say this fight will go under 2.5 rounds as well.
All right, little bonus lean for Ian Parker. Now, everybody at home, be very careful and watch as the fights go along because everything could change depending on bonus points, finishes, and how the points stack up throughout the night. John will be here for that, and you three are getting ready to call some fights. So let's go.
All right, thanks for the betting advice. We'll check in with our experts throughout the night. The mild upset pick there, Ian likes Bruno Miranda. We haven't said much about him. What do you think?
I think he's one of the dark horses in the whole division to win it all. I think he really is that good. His striking is phenomenal. He's very difficult to take down, so watch out for that guy.
We don't have to wait much longer to start figuring out all of these results. Randy, we've got showcase bouts and then everybody vying for this playoff spot, especially at welterweight. This is a deep division. Do we see some upsets and maybe an unfamiliar name in the playoffs?
I don't see any way that we don't. I mean, there's just so much on the line. So many of these guys, like I said, have embraced this grind. They know they have to get it done tonight, and that puts a lot of pressure on them. Let's see who stands up to that pressure.
These might be the two deepest divisions, the two most competitive divisions we have on the Professional Fighters League roster. Welterweights and lightweights. 5 returning champions. 5 people who already have a belt and $1 million check. But we'll start the action with a showcase bout at 145 pounds. Abdullah Al-Khatani getting the final touches put in on his warm-up, made the trip all the way from Bahrain for this. He'll take on Lamar Brown. See if either of these gentlemen can impress the PFL bosses and earn an invitation to a future regular season. Live mixed martial arts next on ESPN+.
Let the bass kick. Let the bass kick. Let the bass kick. Let the bass. Let the bass kick. No one knows where it comes from. Why some have it and some don't. It's the fighting spirit. It consumes fear and weakness. It stands ready to fight whatever shape the battle takes. Because as long as there are battles, there will always be